Good morning to all. Welcome to the class. Myself Murali D, contract lecturer in mechanical engineering from JMR Polytechnic, Utnur. Okay, we will discuss today Francis turbine from water turbines, which is from the subject is fluid mechanics and hydraulic machinery. This subject is very useful for diploma students of Telangana state for second year fourth semester. So objectives of this class, we will discuss working principle and construction of Francis turbine, main parts of Francis turbine, expression for work done, power and efficiency is for this Francis turbine and some simple problems on it. So observe this diagram. This is the Francis turbine. Here it is. The main parts of the Francis turbine is guide vanes, scroll casing, runner, draft tube and tail race. So observe now this figure 2, the working principle of Francis turbine. The fluid of inlet into the scroll casing around the circumference of the runner scroll casing and decreasing cross sectional area. Here it is. The pressure energy of the liquid is converted into kinetic energy. Some of the fluid pressure energy is converted into kinetic energy and the remaining is converted into the guide vanes. Remaining pressure energy is converted into kinetic energy on the guide vanes. Here it is. Observe the main parts of the Francis turbine: volute casing and runner blades, guide blades and fluid outlet through the shaft of at eye end. So this is the Francis turbine, a cross sectional view in the figure 3. Observe this figure 3. You will get an clear idea about the Francis turbine. Francis turbine salient features: it is inward flow reaction turbine. This is mixed flow turbine. Water enters radially and its outer periphery and water leaves axially at its center. Here it is. The Francis turbine is an example of reaction turbine. This is inward flow reaction turbine and mixed flow turbine. In this, water enters radially at outer periphery of the runner and leaves at the axially through the center. It is suitable for medium heads. The head is in between 30 to 150 meter and it is fast running and more compact. This is Francis turbine is suitable for medium specific speed. These are the salient features of Francis turbine. So the working principle of Francis turbine, here it is. You will observe a video about the working principle and construction of the Francis turbine. You will get clear idea. After that we will study the working principle of the technical words. Okay, first you have to watch this video.
Introduction, its various component and its working. So first we understand the introduction of the Francis turbine. Here you see the image of Francis turbines that we discuss later on. So first we study the introduction. Francis turbine is a reaction turbine. It was designed by an American engineer, J.B. Francis. Now first we writing the 5 points related to Francis turbine when it is asked in exam. So this 5 point is written for any turbine from the classifications. Okay, so if you know the classification, then you can able to write down 5 points. So if this question is come in examination, so you can easily write down these 5 points. Okay, and if you don't know the classification, then go on the I symbol on the top right screen of your mobiles, or also go in description or a playlist to watch the more video. So first point is that it is a reaction turbine. Okay, not reaction flow, but it is a reaction turbine. Reaction means kinetic energy and pressure energy at enters to the turbine. Here you see that is the water is inlet in this turbine. So water inlet have two types of energy. One is kinetic and second one is the pressure energy. Second point is that it is a mixed flow turbine. Mixed flow means water enters radially and leave axially. So here it is the runners. On the runner, water is enter in this runner in a radial direction, and water come in the axis parallel to this shaft. So in vertical direction, water is coming out from this part. So it is known as the lever axially. So it is clearly explained in this classification. So if you know classification, then you can understand it easily. Third point is that in a Francis turbine, it's a used for a medium head. Fourth point is that it is in medium quantity of the waters, and fifth point is that it is a medium specific speed. So for a Francis turbine, it is too easy to understand it, because in a out of 5 points, 4 point is start with the M. So you can easily write that is mixed flow, medium head, medium quantity. Everything is to the medium. So you can easily it's remember for the examinations. Subscribe these channels for watching this more video, and press the bell icon for getting continuous update. Next, we understand the various component of the Francis turbine. So component of Francis turbine, before that I see you this image. So this upper part is a front view of the Francis turbine, and this is the top view of the Francis turbine. So when you see the Francis turbine from the top, it is look like as the circular portions. Okay. So in a Francis turbine, there is a various component. So first here we know the name of the component, then we go into the detail. First is the penstock. Okay, so penstock is not showing in this image, but here the water inlet. Okay, so water is come from this penstock. Second part is the spiral casing. Means this part in a top view is known as the spiral casing, that we run in detail. And in front view, this part is known as the spiral casing. Third is the guide blade. So here, front view, this is guide band on the both side, because it is circular component. And in the top view, this part is known as the guide band. Then after, fourth part is runner. So runner is mounted on the shaft. So this is the main shaft, and this part is known as the runner. In a top view, this part is known as the runner. And the fifth component, it is the draft tube. So this part is known as the draft tube. So one by one, we understand this component in the details. Before that, I request to like the video and comment on the video. So first is the penstock. What is the penstock? Penstock is a large diameter conduit which carry water from dam or a reservoir to the turbine house. Means it supply the water from a dam to the turbine inlet, means up to this part. Then after turbine start. Francis turbines require a larger volume of waters than the Pelton wheel turbine. And generally the penstocks are made of a steels and the concrete, that is depending upon the quantity of waters and the availability of the head. And trash rack are provided at the inlet of the penstock to ensure that no debris and another foreign matters enters into the penstocks. Okay. Next component, it is a spiral casing. So its name is suggest that the casing have a shape of the spiral. Before that, I explain you casing. Casing means it is the outer part of the any component. It is known as the casing. Okay. So this is the outer part of this turbine. It's known as casing in top view. This part in the front view is type of the casing. Spiral means the casing have a maximum area at the inlet. Means this part is known as the inlet of the casing, and these are the outlet. So it is a gradually increasing area. Means here the maximum area, when we going further, its area or volume is continuously reducing. Okay, that is known as the spiral casing. Spiral casing have a maximum area at entrance and a nearly zero at the tip. Area of the spiral casing increase uniformly along the circumference. Means we moving ahead, the area of the casing is reduced. The water from the penstock through the guide bands uniformly distributed over the runner bands. Means the
సో ఫ్రెండ్స్, వీడియో స్టార్ట్ చేసే ముందు మీకు గుడ్ అండ్ ఒక రిలయబుల్ యాప్ గురించి చెప్పబోతున్నాను. ఆ యాపే భారత్.
it is uniformly supplied the water into these different pans. Means water is entered from this part, water is entered from this part, it is also entered from this part. So it is uniformly circulate the quantity of water that I show you the another image for that understanding. Hence, quantity of water flowing to the spiral casing uniformly increase. Means quantity of water is increased. Why increase? Because the water is inlet is here. So some water is supplying from this part, some water is supplied from this part, some water is supplied from this part. So it is continuously supplying from the different guide vents. So quantity of water is reduced when it is reached up to the end. Okay. And the velocity of the waters will be constant. Okay. So why this velocity is remains constant? So if we think that the area of the casing is reduced continuously, then velocity is remains to increase. But in this case, velocity is remains constant because quantity Q is not remains constant, because quantity is continuously reduced when the water is moving ahead. Okay, because some is supplying in the different guide vents. Okay, that's why the quantity is reduced, area is also reduced. That's why velocity is remains constant in a spiral casings. So here I show you this image. This is the inlet of the casing. Water is enters. Area is gradually increasing, and this where water is tried to supplying in the different guide vents. That's why quantity is continuously reduced and area is reduced. That's why velocity is remains constant throughout this casing. If you learned, then like the video, subscribe the channels and share with your friend. These are the another image of the casing for the clear reason purpose. So here you can see the area is larger, ahead moving area is reduced, this part is soft. Next we understand the component guide vents. So what is a guide vent? From this name we can understand guide means it's guide the flow of the water. Simple. Guiding means help to others. So this guide blade is help the water to enter in a proper direction to the runner. It is known as the guide blade. And its shape is aerofoil shape. So in this image, here we can understand this part is guide vents. Okay, so here this is different guide vents. That is a number of guide vents. So here two guide vents is indicated. One is by continuous line and another one is the dotted line. That I understand. Later on, first we understand its basic. They are a fix between the two rings in a form of fill. Means guide blade is fixed on a two ring. So this is one ring, that is the outer ring, and this is the inner ring. On the support of these two rings, the guide vents are fixed. This pivot point is on the centers or either in an outer part. So it is pivoted, so it can just swing about these pivot points. Okay, so suppose this pivot point is on the center. Okay, so from the center point, the van is moving at a different angle, like that dotted lines. Okay, so when it is in this part, means continuous line, the area between the two van is higher, means more area to flow, then the more quantity of water is supplied. Now suppose if we are required to reduce the quantity of water supplied to the turbine, then what we doing? We are moving the guide vents, and guide van is come into these new positions like as these dotted lines. At that time what happened? The area between the two guide vents are reduced, means less area of flow. Less area of flow means quantity of water is reduced because water is entered at the continuous velocity in these different vents. But the water quantity passing through the guide blades depends on the position of guide blade, that we understand the different two positions. But there is a number of positions are possible for a guide vents, and the guide blades are generally made of the cast steels. Next we understand the runner. It is the most important component of a Francis turbine. So here you see the image of the runners. So we understand the runner points. So runner have a number of vents. Okay, so in this image if you count, then it is a 16 to 24 number of. So minimum is 16 and up to 24 van is used for the runners. So it is a two types of van. One in van is in the guide vents which have a aerofoil shape, and another vents in a runner. So waters with high kinetic and pressure energy float through the runners and mark a runners to rotate and generate the power. So water coming out from these guide vents is enter radial directions in a runners, and the water energy is supplied to the runners and runners start to rotate. Means water energy or hydraulic energy is converted into the mechanical energy into the runner, and runner is start to rotate. Mechanical energy of this runner is supplied to the generators by using this main shaft, and the generator is produce the electricity, and then after it is supplied to our homes for a use. In a Francis turbines runner, the flow of water is combination of radial and axial. means it is radially in and axially out in a modern Francis turbine. But in all Francis turbines, water inlet and outlet both are in the radial directions. Okay, but recently that majority of the mixed flow turbine is used. Enters radially inwards and leaves in directions parallel to axis of the rotor that we already discussed. And the number of runner lengths are 16 to 24 for the Francis turbines. If you learned and like the video, subscribe the channel. So draft tube is you subscribe the channel with your friend and share with your friend. And last part is the draft tube. So draft tube is installed at the outlet of the turbine, and the draft tube is a pipe of gradually increasing area which connect the outlet of the runner to the tail race. Means this is the outlet of the turbine runners. Okay, so here we install the draft tube, and draft tube is a gradually increasing area. If you want to learn the detail in the draft tubes, then the link is provided on the top right screen from the I symbols, and also link is provided in the descriptions. And you can also go to the watch list.
I hope all of you understand the working principle of Francis turbine in this video. Right? The main parts of the Francis turbine is scroll casing, guide vane mechanism, runner, and draft tube. The scroll casing, I hope we already discussed in that video, and we watched in the video clearly. The scroll casing completely surrounded the runner and guide vane mechanism. It keeps the velocity of water constant throughout the circumference of runner. The spiral shape is ideally suited for this purpose. Now this is observe this diagram, figure number 4. This is the outer is the scroll casing, which is increasing cross sectional area from inlet to towards the outlet. And guide vane mechanism. Guide vanes are properly arranged on stationary circular wheel. The water coming out of the scroll casing passes through the guide vanes. Guide vanes can rotate at its center of pivot. By suitable arrangement, the passage between adjacent guide vanes can be alterated. And the runner. The runner vanes are arranged on the runner, which is key to the shaft. Vanes are shaped that water enters radially and leaves axially of its runner periphery. The runners are made of cast steel, cast iron, or stainless steel. And the draft tube. The draft tube gradually increasing area used for discharging water from exit of turbine to tail race. It permits negative suction head at the runner, and it converts the kinetic energy of water into pressure energy. Observe this. These are the different types of draft tubes are there. The first one is the conical draft tube. It is like a conical shape. And second one is the simple elbow tube. It is like elbow shape, but increasing cross section area from entrance to exit. And third one is the Moody spreading tube. It is two ways to decreasing cross section area, like reverse Y. And third one is the draft tube with circular inlet and rectangular outlet. The fourth one is the circular inlet and rectangular outlet. These are the types of draft tubes are there. Types of draft tubes. First one is the straight diverted draft tube. Second one is the Moody spreading draft tube. And fourth one is the simple elbow tube. And last one is the elbow tube having circular cross section at inlet and rectangular at outlet. These all are the types of draft tubes. Now we will discuss the expression for work done, power and efficiency for Francis turbine. Here let U1 is the blade velocity of the wheel. We know that the velocity of the blade vane is pi d n by 60. That is, is, 60. That is, pi d n by 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 60. That is, 60 meter per second. This is the blade velocity, and where is the diameter? D is the diameter of the runner in meter, and u2 is the blade velocity of the wheel at outlet, that is called pi d2 n by 60 in meter per second. Here is the d2 is the inner diameter of the runner, d1 is the outer diameter of the runner, and d2 is the inner diameter of the runner. N is the runner speed in rpm, and v is the absolute velocity of water in meter per second. And now observe this velocity triangle from inlet and outlet. Observe the velocity triangle at inlet and exit. This is the inlet velocity triangle. This one is the red color is the velocity at inlet triangle, and this green color is the velocity triangle at outlet. And radial entry, the here it is the theta is equal to 90 degrees. In these cases, from inlet triangle, here it is the theta is equal to 90 degrees, and here is the flow velocity is equal relative velocity, because of the theta is equal 90 degrees. Flow velocity is equal to relative velocity, and the water is enter with a velocity impinges, water is impinges on the blade with a velocity v1, and here it is the blade is moving with a velocity is blade is moving with a velocity is u1, and the remaining velocity is remaining velocity is relative velocity, because of here it is theta is equal to 90 degrees. So the total velocity is Whirl velocity Vw1. Now from the outlet triangle from exit, here is the velocity V2 is the velocity at exit. This is the V2 is at exit, and here it is the blade velocity. This is the blade velocity U2, and this is whirl velocity Vw2. So the relative velocity is Vr2, and the flow velocity is perpendicular to the velocity of the exit, that is equal Vf2. Here it is beta is equal, suppose beta is equal 90 degrees, Vf2 is equal to V2. So Vw2 is equals 0. This is the velocity triangles for inlet, and this is the velocity triangles for the Francis turbine. We know that here it is alpha is the angle of guide blade angle at inlet, beta is discharge at inlet, theta is moving blade at entry, and pi is the moving blade at exit. We know that work done per second is equal m into Vw1 u1 plus Vw2 u2 in kilowatt, and power is equal, power work done per second is equals power. Here work done is equals power, work done is equal power, so that the power is equal m into Vw1 u1 plus Vw2 u2 in kilowatt. This is the power. And now where m is equal wq by g, and we finally written as m is equal rho q. A discharge q is equal pi d1 b1 vf1 meter cube per second. So pi d2 b2 vf2 meter cube per second at outlet. The b1 is the width of the blade at entry, b2 is the width of the blade at exit. If there is no loss of energy when water flows through the veins, change in kinetic head is equal power head. Observe this, change in kinetic head is equal v1 square by 2g minus v2 square by 2g, that is equal power head 1 by g into vw1 u1 plus vw2 u2. So capital H minus v2 square by 2g is equal 1 by g into vw1 u1 plus vw2 u2. For radial discharge, beta is equal 90 degrees, vw2 is equal 0 and v2 is equal vf1. If beta is greater than 90 degrees, where vw2 is positive. If beta is less than 90 degrees, vw2 is negative. Beta is the discharge angle. Here it is, different types of efficiencies are there. First one is the hydraulic efficiency and second one is the mechanical efficiency. Third one is the overall efficiency. The first one, hydraulic efficiency, is defined as the ratio of power developed by the turbine to the water power. And second one is the mechanical efficiency. Mechanical efficiency is defined as the ratio of shaft power to the brake power. And finally, overall efficiency is defined as the ratio of shaft power to the water power. The hydraulic efficiency is by the equation in the form of equation is power developed by the turbine by water power, and mechanical efficiency is in the form of equation is shaft power by brake power. Overall efficiency is defined in the equation form shaft power by water power. And now working proportion for Francis turbine. Here it is, working proportions for Francis turbine is the speed. First one is the speed ratio. Speed ratio. So that is equal to u1 by under root 2gh, where u1 is the peripheral velocity at inlet and capital H is the head available at inlet to the turbine. The speed ratio is lies between speed ratio lies between 0.6 to 0.9. The speed ratio is lies between 0.6 to 0.9. And now second one is the flow ratio. Second one is the flow ratio. So that flow ratio is equal to Vf1 by under root 2gh. The flow ratio lies between 0.15 to 0.30. The flow ratio is equal Vf1 by under root 2gh. Flow ratio lies between 0.15 to 30. And now third one is the discharge. Discharge. Q is equal to pi capital D1 B1 VF1, that is equal pi D2 B2 VF2, where capital D1 is the runner dia at inlet, B1 is the width of runner at inlet, VF1 is the flow velocity at inlet. Capital D2 is the runner diameter at outlet, B2 is the width of runner at outlet, VF2 is the flow velocity at outlet. Here, if the thickness of blade is taken into consideration, the discharge is Q is equal. If the thickness of the blade is, if the blade thickness is considered, the discharge is pi D1 minus NT into B1 VF1. If the blade velocity is considered, the discharge is pi D1 minus NT into B1 VF1, where N is the number of blades and T is the thickness of each blade. Okay, these are the proportions of Francis turbine. These are the speed ratio and flow ratio. Here is one more, is the breadth ratio. Breadth ratio is equal B1 by D1. The breadth ratio is varies from 0.15 to 0.4. Okay, these are the some important proportions for the Francis turbine. Now let us solve some simple problems on this Francis turbine. Let's note down the first problem. This is the first problem. An inward flow reaction turbine works under a head of 30 meter. The external and internal diameters are 1.25 meter and 0.8 meter respectively. The angle of guide varies is 15 degrees and the moving vanes are radial at entrance. The velocity of flow through the runner is constant and there is no velocity of whirl at outlet. Find the speed of the runner and outlet vane angle. Assume the speed ratio. Okay, this is the problem. He asked us to find out the outlet vane angle, that is equal pi, and blade velocity, that is equal u1. Here we have to calculate this flow velocity and blade velocity and outlet vane angle, that is pi. So here it is. We first we have to write the given data. First we have to write the given data. Inward flow reaction turbine works under a head of 30 meter. So capital H is equal 30 meter. The external and internal diameters are 1.25 meter and 0.8 meter respectively. So that is the external and internal. Capital D1 is equal 1.25 meter and capital D2 is equal 0.8 meter. These are the external and internal diameters. The angle of guide varies is 15 degrees. So alpha is equal 15 degrees. And the velocity of flow through the runner is constant and there is no velocity of whirl at outlet. So there is the velocity of flow through the runner is constant. So Vf1 is equal Vf2 and there is no whirl velocity at outlet, means that is equal to Vw2 is equals 0. So that means Vw2 is equal 0 means theta is equals 0 degrees. So this is the given data. Assume that the speed ratio is equals 0.7. is equal 0.7. So this is the given data. Capital H is equal 30 meter, D1 is equal 1.25 meter, D2 is equal 0.8 meter, alpha is equal 15 degrees. Velocity of flow is at inlet is equal velocity of flow at outlet. Vw2 is equal 0 and theta is equal to 90 degrees. Sorry, here it is 90 degrees. And speed ratio is equal 0.7. Now we will solve it. Sorry for the disturbance. We return the given data. So first we have to calculate the velocity of the blade at inlet. We know that the speed ratio is equal u1 by under root 2gh. Okay, from this equation we will get u1. So u1 is equal to under root 2gh into speed ratio. So that is equal to under root 2 into 9.81 into h is equal to 30 into 0.7 is the speed ratio. If you solve this, you will get u1 value. Solve it, you will get u1 value. u1 is 16.98 meter per second. This is the u1. Okay, but u1 is equal to, we know that pi d1n by 60. So this is equal to, we have to n is equal to we will get n from this equation. N is equal to 60 u1 by pi d1. Substitute all the values in this equation, you will get n value. So n is equal 60 into u1 is 16.98 by pi into inlet diameter 1.25 meter. So n is equal, you will get, if you calculate it, you will get n value. N is equal, if you calculate it, you will get n value 259.43 rpm. This is the n value. Now we got velocity of the blade and speed. Now first we have to write the velocity. We will draw the velocity triangle for inlet and outlet. Okay, assume this is blade, sorry, assume this is a blade and the velocity of the flow is tangential to it, and this is the relative velocity, and this is the blade velocity is u1, and this is relative velocity vr1, and this is v1. So that is equal flow velocity. So this is the making an angle is alpha. Here it is the is theta. Theta is equal to 90 degrees given in this problem. So this is the inlet triangle. So the flow is like this. So now we will draw the outlet velocity triangles, and this is perpendicular to it, this is the flow velocity, and this is relative velocity. This is relative velocity vr2, and this is flow velocity vf2. So that is equal to v2. So it makes an angle is pi. Pi is equals also 90 degrees, and this is makes an angle beta. So this is u2. This is the velocity triangle. Now from inlet triangle, tan alpha is equal to, from inlet triangle tan alpha is equal to vf1 by u1, vf1 by u1. Substitute all the values in this equation. Substitute all the values in this equation. You will get tan alpha is equal to vf1 by u1. That is equal to vf1 is equal to u1 tan alpha. That is equal to we know the u1 value 16.98, and tan alpha is equal to 15 degrees. Okay, calculate it, you will get vf1 value. You get vf1 value. So vf1 is equal to 4.55 meter per second. We know that the flow velocity given, the velocity of flow through the runner is constant. So given the flow velocity of the runner is constant, so that vf1 is equal to vf2. So simply it is written as vf. Okay, vf is equal to 4.55 meter. So now next we know that velocity of the blade at outlet is equal to, we know that velocity of the blade at outlet is equal to pi d2n by 60. From this equation we will get the velocity of the blade at outlet. So u2 is equal, substitute all the values, pi into diameter at outlet is equal to d2 into n is equal 259.43 43 by 60. If you calculate it, you will get the U2 value. U2 is equal, if you calculate the above, you will get U2 is equal 10.87 meter per second. So now we have to calculate the outlet vane angle. From the outlet triangle, we know that tan pi is equal to Vf2 by U2. So we know that Vf2 is equal to 4.55 and U2 earlier we calculated that is equal to 10.87. So if you calculate it, you will get the outlet vane angle. Outlet vane angle pi is equal to 22.7 degrees. So this is the outlet vane angle for the given Francis turbine with the given data. I hope all of you understood this problem. We calculated here U1 is equal to 16.98 and N is equal to 259.43. Here it is meter per second, this is RPM, and Vf1 we calculated Vf1 is equal to Vf2 is equal to 4.55 meter per second, and finally we calculated velocity of the blade at outlet. That is equal to 10.87 meter per second, and finally we calculated the outlet vane angle pi is equal to 22.7 degree. So we are all calculated these values from the given data of the given problem. Now you have a assignment problem is here. I am giving a assignment problem. All of you note it down. This is the assignment problem for you. A Francis turbine has inlet dia of 2 meter and outlet dia of 1 meter. The breadth at inlet is 0.2 meter and outlet is 0.3 meter. The speed of turbine is 300 rpm. The relative velocity at entrance is the relative velocity at entrance is 4 meter per second and is radial. Calculate first one absolute velocity of jet at entrance and the angle with the tangent of runner. Second one discharge. Third one the velocity of flow at outlet. So we have to you have to calculate all these three. First you have to given diameter, inlet diameter and outlet diameter. D1 is equal to I am simply saying that D1 is equal to 2 meter, D2 is equal to 1 meter, and he also given the breadth at inlet and outlet, that is equal to 0.2 meter and 0.3 meter. A speed is also given, that is equal N is equal to 300 rpm. The relative velocity VR1, he given relative velocity is equal to 4 meter per second and is radial. So if it is radial, VR1 is equal flow velocity. So VR1 is equal to Vf1, that is equal 4 meter per second. Calculate absolute velocity of jet at entrance and the angle with the tangent runner. So you have to calculate here. First you have to calculate alpha value. So from, if you draw a inlet triangle, I am simply saying here, assume here it is a vein, and this is the velocity of the jet is v1, and this is blade velocity is u1, and this is flow velocity vf1, that is equals also vr1. Okay, this is the, here it is angle alpha, so which is theta is equals 90 degrees. So from inlet triangle, tan alpha is equal vf1 by u1. From inlet triangle, tan alpha is equal vf1 by u1. So you will get the absolute velocity inlet angle from this equation, and you have to calculate the discharge q is equal pi d1 b1 vf1. Similarly at outlet discharge q is equal pi into d2 into b2 into vf2. So this is the small hint for you. You have to solve this problem. I hope all of you understand this class. Next coming class we will discuss some problems on it, also some more problems on this Francis turbine, and we will discuss the construction and working of Kaplan turbine and important points for Kaplan turbine, and also we will discuss difference between impulse turbine and Francis turbine in coming class. Thank you. I hope all of you understand this class. Thank you one and all for watching this class.